crazy things where you feel like everything is supposed to go a certain way. Good morning. If you're here, let me know that you're here so I can address you by name, or if you have any questions about what I'm up to. I've been going live. Like, this filter is amazing, by the way, on TikTok. And I'm on Instagram, and I'm here on Facebook and YouTube and LinkedIn. So I'm on a lot of different places at the moment, and I'm going to be really raw. So I have my little stars up here in the form of chili peppers today, because I need to bring the heat, because I've been doing this started doing this program with my friend last week, and it was a disaster. I really I really sucked hard. So what happened was we started do I literally, you guys, I just decided I didn't want to feel like this anymore. I didn't want to have like these, look at that, you guys. Like, that's where my bra sits all the time, because they need a suspension bridge to hold these girls up. And it's just kind of gotten to the point where I feel like I'm not the same person. I feel like my body is just doing its own thing and on its own path. And I'm like, wait a second, this is not what I signed up for, or what I thought it was going to be to be where I am. And I know that a lot of us are get to this point. And I look back and I have before pictures from 2003, and like literally in Polaroids. And I've always kind of been up and down with, and people that like know me, like, no, Jen, you're athletic and fit and everything. Well, I hide it well, guys. I like spread a little here and spread a little here. But I weighed in this morning at 164 pounds, and I weighed in last week at 161. So I've actually put on 3 pounds when I'm supposed to, the first week of a diet. That's like kind of not what's supposed to happen. So let's pin my goal, so maybe some more people will notice it. There we go. We're going to pin this not nonsense over here on TikTok. And so if you're watching and you've ever struggled with a goal, if you're watching and you've ever started something and the beginning of it was like you stumbled out of the gate, and they say, have you ever heard that thing, straight out the gate? Like, I think that's a song somewhere, straight out the gate. When the starting gate to a race for horses, the gates open. So straight out the gate, that's where that comes from. Straight out the gate, like how fast, in fact, they said if Dante could be taught to break from a gate, then he could actually probably win some races, because he's such a great horse. But the start is really important. I mean, there's the beginning, the middle, and the end is really important. And one of the things that Bellas, if you are involved in my world at all, you would know what a Bella is. If you don't, go to my website, check it out. But a Bella is me, is like me. It's like really high energy, no bottom of energy, always on the go, never met a stranger. You meet somebody and they're like, oh, I need to introduce you to somebody immediately. Like, that's kind of that Bella personality type. And for me, it's that's the one thing about Bellas that are super important, that are kind of our superpower, is that we are really great at beginnings. Like, straight out the gate, boom, we go. And so this time, I think I tripped on the gate on the way out. I don't know, but I gained weight this week. And for those of you that know, I work with horses, and I think here's the big piece, is that last year, or when I moved down to South Florida, I decided to board my horses and have their care cared for. Like, what was happening was, I had this amazing property in Orlando, and it was 10 acres. I had 2 houses. I had 8 bedrooms, 5 bath. I had a barn, 10-stall barn, I had an arena. I had all this property, and the river ran through it. And it was gorgeous, but it was all me. And my assistant had moved to Boston and now lives in Seattle. And so I wasn't doing things on my own, or I didn't have help anymore, and the help that I would try and hire I'd try and hire somebody that could keep up with me. And it just kind of it kind of just felt like, every time I would try and get somebody to come in and help me, they would be like, "Oh yeah, Jen, this is great." And then they would realize that, yeah, it's actually a lot of work all the time, taking care of 6 horses, 5 horses now, all this stuff. It's a lot of work, you guys. It is a ton of work. And I'm hosting retreats and making sure my social media is taken care of, and making sure my website's up to date, and making sure my taxes are filed, and making sure I'm taking care of myself and serving my clients. And oh, by the way, keeping the horses trained, making sure it's so much. It is so much work to do all of the things that I'm doing, that sometimes, something's got to give. And so my body started to give. And I was like, I just can't anymore. And then when I put my horses to where they were cared for, and I was in an apartment, which is where I am now, I really realized that separation from my horses, that was really what was killing me. And that really put me in a space where I wasn't I my horses weren't sticking their nose through the windows anymore. They weren't at the back door like like Trace would be standing there waiting for a cookie half the time, because I just let them free range on my property because I could do whatever I wanted. And now they're boarded, and now they're kind of parked in all different places because it's tough to find a place for 5 horses in one spot in South Florida. But I recently found a facility, so I'm super excited about that. And those of you that have helped me get there, I'm super grateful to you. And I want to really, hey, good morning, good morning. So I really want to be vulnerable and say how much gratitude I have for those of you that are helping me get the rescued horses in their new home, so I can get back to offering retreats and doing events and having things here. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So I realized that part of that is my body, and I got to take control of what is actually happening with that. And a lot of people are like, "Oh, well, you're getting older and hormones," and maybe that's true, but I'll tell you something right now. When I'm around my horses, it's there's something that shifts inside you, that shifts inside me, when I'm with them and I'm outside. And instead of just taking a break and going for a little walk, I would take a break and go ride, or I would take a break and go play with them, or groom them, or do something with them. And so I was kind of, I come and I'd work, and I would do some social media. And then when I would get bored with that, or Facebook would yell at me there, then I would go outside. And it was great because I had my assistant with me. And now I don't, but I'm getting ready to go to a new facility. So, those of you that want to come and experience the horses for a weekend, you have the opportunity in South Florida. I'm in West Palm Beach area, and to come and experience the horses for a fraction of what I normally run my retreats for. And I'm only doing this for a short time to help with the move, because moving 5 horses and getting the whole machine going. I got to do things like I don't have a wheelbarrow anymore. I don't have a pitchfork, and I don't have a tractor. So I've got, there's some things that, like, this move is definitely going from zero to a lot, like, really fast. So I'm offering a really, really great deal on my weekend getaways, because I know how important it is for me to be around these horses. And I know for the people that do come on site and experience them, whether you've experienced them virtually or want to come in and touch them and feel them and smell them and just cuddle with them, I'm doing some really great stuff. That said, I know that my separation from my family, because I don't have children, I don't have children. I have horses, and they take care of me, and I take care of them. And we are like this beautiful, beautiful family. And I'm super excited to take things to that next space and take them to the next level at this new facility. And I know that it'll be a really good thing for me to get this weight off too. So, someone asked me, like, how tall are you? Well, I'm 5'4". I'm 5'4", and I'm weighing at 164 pounds. And that's too much. That's too much for me. I'm fine bone. I'm a little person normally, but I'm literally carrying the equivalent to a bag of feed around. So, bag of feed weighs about 50 pounds. So I'm about 51 pounds. So I'm actually about 50 pounds overweight. And I've never been here before. I've been not, no, never been here. 164 pounds is really a lot. So I then started looking, what's his name? Drew, I have to look it up, where he did Fit to Fat to Fit. And they actually did a television show around it for trainers. And what's been really incredible about that for me is that I've never been here before. So I've never felt what it feels like. And I don't want to, I don't know how people that are really, I don't know how you guys do it. That are like truly um struggling. I mean, I do because I'm doing it. I'm going through it myself, you guys. I mean, I turn and like my back fat will actually touch, and it's like that's like the grossest, like that's gross. And like I'll lay down and like if I don't have like the suspension bridge kicking, if I don't have these girls held up, I'm like, and then it touches, and that's like so weird and creepy. It's such a weird, creepy feeling to have like your fat touch your fat. And I'm like, okay, what's happening here? And I'm being really authentic and raw, you guys, because this is new for me. Like I said, I've kind of been like sort of doing this thing for a lot of years. Obviously, since 2003, 20 years, I've been sort of the like I lose 5 pounds before lunch, that kind of thing. And I think I just really hit a point that I really want to be in I want to be healthy. I want to be in shape. I want to be healthy for the people that come out and work with the horses. I want to be healthy for the people that want to come and experience something completely different. I want to be healthy for you. I want to be healthy for myself. And I don't want to look like this. I don't want to look in the mirror and see things like doing stuff they're not supposed to be doing. Like I had a hard time putting my trainers on this morning because my ankles are all fat and swollen. It's like, okay, and I got some edema on my joints, and my fingers feel squishy. And I'm like, all right, that's it. Something does have to give. And you got to ask yourself, well, what do you want? What do you want? And I know what I want. I want to be able to grow and serve people through what I do with the Xenogen programs. And I want people to come out and play with my horses. And now I have a clearer idea of like because I don't think about it, when I have somebody out in the ring and they're with the horse and they're interacting, I'm like, go, you got to run faster. Cause I'm thinking about it from the horse, like what the horse needs, how they need to show up. And the person's like, they're huffing and puffing. I'm like, go faster, go faster. And they're like, I'm trying, Now I get it, And I think too, when you tell yourself some truth, you get really real. You get really real when you tell yourself some truth and really take a hard look at what you want and how you want to feel. And I know how I feel after, I eat a really good slice of cheesy pizza and drink that. Oh, I love Mexican Coke because it's made with cane sugar instead of corn sugar. And it's like got a little bit, it's so good. But I know this. I know how I want to feel. I want to feel about myself. Not just how I want to feel in the morning, in the moment, but how I want to feel about myself. And I want to feel good about myself. I want to feel good about my decisions. I don't want to feel my fingers, like the skin on my fingers, tight because they're squishy. I want to feel like I've got momentum, like I've got movement. And I know that getting home back with the horses on the same property is going to be a huge game changer. But I don't want to get out there and not be able to move and go faster when they need me to. And that's a huge piece for me. So to suffer a tough failure in week one when I'm a beginner, like that's my beginnings are good morning, Will. So beginnings are my jam. Like I'm really good at the beginning. So if my beginning sucks, something else has to give, right? And so it's going to be mighty interesting for me to get out there today on weeks, day one of week two or day one of week one. It doesn't matter. Today is just the day. Today is the only day you have. There is only one Monday, May 22nd, 2023 ever. We'll only have one of those. And I want to make sure that I do everything I can to, at the end of that day, go, yeah, I absolutely did my best and I did not leave anything on the table. So right now I am opening it up. I've got 12 spots for the next phase of my weekend getaways. So they're, again, a fraction of the cost if you're interested in coming out and playing with the horses. We're going to be starting the retreats, the weekend getaways, varying dates throughout the fall into the winter. So yes, exactly. All we have is right now. And that's so true. And so if you want to come and visit me, they're right now they're $1,000, includes your meals and accommodations and incredible experience with horses. It really is just to help me get the horses moved. Normally they're around $3,000 or $4,000, but this right now they're just for $1,000. Come hang out with the horses for a weekend, and it's going to be really pretty. No frills, sort of help. Really beautiful, simple space, but great great camaraderie, great sisterhood. If I have enough guys sign up, I'll do a co-ed one, and then we'll go from there. But now I'm looking at what can I do today for me and for my horses and for the people that I love and care about and for those that I serve to show up at my highest and best. And I'm not going to talk about like what my diet is just yet. I'm not going to talk about what I'm doing just yet because it's going to get judgment. No matter what I decided to say, if I said, "Oh, I'm going to do the South Beach diet," or "Oh, I'm going to do the beach body diet," or the pet a lizard diet. I mean, I could say anything and it wouldn't matter. So I like what I'm going to be doing is less important than how I'm going to feel when I've done it. So I'm taking my own path. I will be talking about it after after the results, but because this is my own sovereign journey at the moment, and we all should have those to where we have like the big vision that we're quiet about and only talk to God to, or only talk to our 2 a.m.ers. And if you want to know what a 2 a.m.er is, come join one of my masterminds. They're really, really great. Where you talk about this thing is, oh, you're so sweet. Thanks, Will. Because it's so important that you love yourself and you have that tight knit group of people. Like, who is your five? Who do you hang around with? Who are you with? Are they energy givers? Or are they energy takers? And I don't mean like the obvious energy vampires that we can be around where you walk, you're like, oh, here comes Katie. Oh, just avert your eyes. Because a lot of times, even our friends can be energy takers because the topic of conversation is something that takes your vibration down. A good friend of mine the other day, it kept coming back to a complaint that she has about a certain thing, and it's not going to get resolved. Not in that conversation. She just needed to just likes to complain about it. And I will do a whole video on the difference between complaining and the difference between venting, the complaining versus venting conversation. Because like sometimes you just start complaining, you don't even realize you're doing it. Good morning, Tina. And you don't even realize that you're doing it. And when you do that, you go, wait a minute, we're just, but what's the vibration of the energy? That's the point. Because if the energy exchange can be equal, but it can be down here, talking and bitching and talking and complaining and griping and moaning and bitching and moaning, like down here, that you can have an equal energy exchange down here, right? But to keep bringing yourself back up, right? It's just like the crabs. There's the whole metaphor about a bucket of crabs, and the fisherman's sitting there and he's getting his crabs, and his buddy's next to him. He says, "Hey, you're getting one of your crabs is about ready to escape. He's getting ready to climb out." He's like, "Nah, I'm not worried." He goes, "You're not?" He's like, "Look, he's almost out." And he goes, "Watch." And sure enough, a couple minutes into it, like crab's almost out of the bucket, getting ready to escape, get back in the ocean. And then all his other crab buddies bring him back down. They'll grab him and bring him back down because they're trying to get out. And we're all trying to buy him for ourselves. So that can be an equal exchange of energy, but where's the vibration level of the energy? That's the piece. And that's why I'm not going to be talking about what I'm doing. I was talking about this whole thing, and someone was like, "Well, how tall are you?" And I'm like, "Why do you want to know? Like, you are asking me how tall I am so you can judge what my weight is and what my goals are." So I'm not telling anyone, like, you guys, when you're doing this kind of stuff, don't tell anyone your goals. This is your own thing. Let's say nobody else's business, right? We'll talk about this as we go along, but you have to have a strong constitution and a very high level of fortitude to be able to talk to people about your intimate goals and be prepared for whatever their value system, belief system, advice, words of encouragement would actually be, especially when it comes to things like money, your time management, your kids, your relationship, and your body. Like, those areas are like especially like hot pockets. Like let's not talk about religion and politics, right? I have a friend that I love him to death, but I cannot talk about religion and politics with him because he has a very different belief system than I do, and I don't want to have a thoughtful conversation, yes, but don't do that. So keep it to yourself. Keep that information to yourself for just a little bit. And so I'm talking about this because I think it's important that to share where your struggles are and be vulnerable. But when it comes to talking about your goals, like just go for it. Just go do you. Do the thing that feels good to you. And check into source capital S. Check it or talk to God. Whatever that person is, whoever that is in your brain, like talk to God, talk to who you know is going to actually be the one that's influencing you, and listen to that. And ask yourself, is this person the person I want to show up? Am I who be showing up the way I want to show up? And sometimes the answer is no, and we do it anyway. We don't care because sometimes we do need to just sit on the poof. I have this big like beanbag thing I call the poof, and I love it. I freaking love the poof because you pull it out, and it was on Shark Tank, and you like lay it out to bed, and it's big fluffy. Freaking love that thing, but I can't lay on it every day and just relax and watch Netflix and expect to have a really great body. Can eat a whole pizza and drink 2 liters of Dr. Pepper and say, that's a cheat meal. Well, no, not if you eat it over 6 hours, right? So just being mindful and understanding what you want. First, understanding really truly what your desire is. And it does not matter what it is that you want. Don't let anyone judge your goals, right? Don't let anyone judge your goals. So put yourself in that place, and that's where I am. So last week was a total disaster. And I was really upset about it this morning. And I think that upsetness and negative energy or negative emotion puts you in a space where you just go, okay, you know what? I'm going to go over here. All a negative emotion is doing is guiding you to a better one. And having an awareness about it is like the most important thing you can do, is have an awareness about how you're feeling and how you want to feel. And I'm going to be going live every day for a while at 7:30 a.m. Eastern time this time. And I'll be going live at 9 p.m. as well. So you see me at 7:30 a.m. and at 9 p.m. So kick off the day and then wrap up the day. And seeing like, am I holding myself accountable? And accountability is such a tricky thing because you're like, oh well, I ate the cookies today. Well, that's okay, just do better tomorrow. Okay, well, you can't say that every day, or you're going to eat your cookies into a giant body where your back fat touches. If you're going to do that until the time goes by and the sales calls never get made, or the emails never get sent, or the videos never get recorded, or whatever it is. So kicking the can down the road is needs to be intentional. Like, I'm really okay that I don't, like, I have about, my phone is blowing up and I'm sitting here watching that little red number go up. I'm like, but that's okay because I'm here. So intentional procrastination is one thing, but to just kick the can down the road and be like my ex-husband, free beer tomorrow. I used to call him free beer tomorrow because that's all he ever was like, oh yeah, well, this will happen, next time, and well, I've got this coming in, this was coming in, the money's coming in, this is coming in, this is coming in, this is going to happen, this is going to happen, gonna. And I'm like, what, why don't you just come to me when you can say this has happened and you can use it in the past tense. So instead of I'm going to lose 10 pounds, hey, I lost 10 pounds and have kept it off for a year. Like those are two very different conversations. Right. So if you're on and you're watching, throw me a comment. Let me know you're here. I want to hear from you guys. Like, really understand how I can support you. And through supporting myself and just sharing my journey and sharing what I'm doing, not to be, what is it, egocentric, or like, hey, look at me. Because I don't have to get on here and talk about this. I'm hoping, excuse me, I'm hoping someone is going to get value out of it, because by this time next week, I will be talking about, oh, thanks, Tina. I hope you're following me for sure. So I do love this topic. So this time next week, I can say, all right, I got some results, because I know that the way I was going if I'm going here and Hawaii is over here, I'm going to end up in Alaska, right? So making sure that the trajectory, and the longer you wait to make a shift, the more drastic a shift you're going to have to make. And right now, I'm at a place where I need to make some drastic shifts. I've got this new property I'm super excited about. So today I'm going to be really, really sharing my dollar. I call it my dollar menu. So you can go, these three options, anything you want for 1K to come in and experience, either a full day live privately with me, or for you and a friend, for a whole weekend getaway, come experience. If you want to bring a group for a happy hour or a lunch or a breakfast meeting, like all, and do some really amazing stuff with the horses, great. But I'm going to be in shape when that starts happening, because they're going to start running. The first weekend is the last week in July. I'm in Florida, Tina. I'm in West Palm Beach, Florida. Great question. I have 4 horses and a mini, so 5 technically. And each one of them has their own personality, and they will choose you. One of the horses will actually choose you, which is really incredible. And what you experience throughout the weekend with your horse, that's your horse for the weekend, will blow your mind, because there's some kind of message or lesson or gift that the horse has to give you. And for me, being away from these guys has been tearing at the fiber of my soul. And I didn't realize how heavy that would weigh on my heart to be away from them, and the feelings of abandonment that I've had. Like, I feel like I have abandoned them, even though I know I haven't, because I'm doing everything in alignment in the way it's supposed to be. And one of those things that really is important about that is to know that you must take care of your body, and you must take care of your physical body. And I haven't been doing that to the level that I would normally like. And yes, everything in its divine timing. And now it is divinely timed that I take control of the situation and do something about it. And alignment is more important than action, because you can take all the action you want, but if you alignment, like if you're typing and your hands are one set of keys over, you're not going to be typing the right words. You're going to be typing different words than if you align and put your keys on your hands, your fingers on the right keys. So alignment is first, and then then take action. And when you take action, when you are aligned, magic happens. Magic starts to happen when you are aligned. Like last week, all I was doing was getting aligned. I was like, oh, I'll just have a few one cookie. And that turned into eight. Oh, I'll just have a little bit of this. And that turned into like a whole meal. Oh, I'm just gonna, but and then Sunday was my cheat day. Woo! Right. I didn't even earn it. I didn't even earn it because I cheated all week, right? So, but getting aware and not and every like some of you guys have been so sweet with your comments, like not beating yourself up, not beating myself up. Oh, I'd love to hear about your little business that you're manifesting because I love business. I love being an entrepreneur. I love it. And it's such a crazy ride because sometimes when you work for yourself, you realize that your boss is a lunatic. And you go, wait a minute, this isn't quite what I thought it was going to be. But you have so much more autonomy. I'm not going to say you have more free time because you don't. So I'm really excited about what we're going to be doing this summer with the horses at the new facility. Starting at, I wonder when's the first day of summer? It's coming up, isn't it? So we're going to be really doing some great stuff starting at this summer. And I want to be in the absolute best shape I possibly can. So I have a goal and I will be talking about that as I start to approach it and not move further away from it because it's important that you really go look at yourself and take a true assessment without judgment. Like just take empirical data, just raw empirical data, and write it down and go, okay, this is where you're at. Are you okay with this? Yes or no? Do you feel good about this? Yes or no? Super simple, you guys. It's more simple than you could possibly imagine. Because when you answer, are you okay with this? Yes or no? When you say no, you can figure out why. Why are you not okay? What is happening in your life that is driving this? And really being gentle with yourself around it. So I think about that and I'm like, well, what have I been doing that's been getting me the results that I currently have? Right. And when you're in alignment, things aren't, it's not hard work to actually do what you need to do. And this was going around. I hate social media. I hate posting. If I wasn't on business and trying to share my horses and my vision of changing the world of horse rescue, I mean, I have a big vision, guys. I have huge vision. But if I wasn't on, I would never be on social media. But actually, I really love connecting. I love sharing my message. I love being here. I love talking to you. I love Tina for her comments. I love Will for his comments. I love the people that that come back and say, hey, what the experience that I had with your horses really transformed my life, and I found you on social media, or I found you on TikTok or whatever. My YouTube channel is blowing up right now, which is fantastic. I'm actually a professional YouTuber now with like thousands of subscribers and a couple of viral videos. So that's really exciting. So it's like something had to give. And what gave was something I wasn't willing to sacrifice any longer. So my connection with my horses and my physical body. So, yeah, I have a business to run. I have people I want to help. I have things, but I need care too. And I want to give you permission to really take care of you, take care of yourself. What do you want? How do you want to feel about your day every single day? Every single day. So I don't know please, whatever that is. All you have to do, fill your cup before anyone else says. Yes, because what the great phrase is to serve from your saucer, right? When your cup is overflowing, it flows onto the saucer and that's what you can give. But I look at it like a raisin or a grape. You can't squeeze much out of a raisin, right? So you have to really, if you have a nice fat juicy grape, you can squeeze a lot out of that. So, thank you. People giving me some comments, giving me some love and support. So I'm grateful. I definitely encourage you to check out my weekend getaways. They're going to be starting at the end of July. We have plenty of dates. So the whole thing is to get the move handled for the horses, get them safe in their new space. So I'm not taking too many people at this price. I guess but it's really a great deal to come and spend a weekend with me, or come and spend a day with me if you're in Florida, or get to Florida. I'm 20 minutes from the West Palm Beach airport. So, but I will tell you this, and this is my commitment. I'm going to make this part of it public. I will be in great shape and happy and ready to serve when my retreats start. Not that I'm not right now. I mean, let's be fair. I'm in a great space. My mindset is amazing. I feel so good, but I also have some limits. Some things have been crossed, and I'm not gonna, like, places in my life that I'm not gonna tolerate anymore. Right? Like I've it's time to get off the nail. And I'm listening to the universe when it whispers to me, rather than waiting for it to punch me in the face anymore. Anybody have that ever happen to them? It happened to me about 10 years ago when I woke up to a Facebook message from a total stranger about my husband. Who would love to get a message from a strange woman about their spouse, on Facebook? Yeah, that's awesome. And it wasn't that he was cheating. That would have been easier. It was that he was doing things. She actually said, I see that you're doing all of this travel with Tony Robbins. You might want to talk to your husband about where he's getting the money to pay for it. And I was like, what? She said, yeah, you might want to talk to your husband about where he's getting his money. And it's not like, you sit there every day and you're like, oh, hey, you don't ask about those kinds of things. You're like, how's your day, dear? You don't say, oh, how's the stealing going? Because yeah, he got in a lot of trouble. He was a financial advisor, and he ended up in a lot of trouble. And he was the sole breadwinner. I was living life on his dime. That's what we're taught. The man makes the living and the woman makes the life worth living. And I mean, I would call my mom years ago. I'd call her up and I would go, hey, Mom, I wouldn't bitch about something that he did that was ridiculous, because he was always doing ridiculous stuff. I mean, so was I. But he was like, and you know what she would say to me? This is what my mother would say to me when he would do something obviously ridiculous. She would go, well, you just go make him a nice dinner, honey, and give him a hug. It'll be fine. I'm like, he's the one that screwed up, and you want me to go and hug him and cook dinner for him? But that's the mindset. And I don't blame my mom for that. And, not anymore. I did for a long time, ton of judgment towards her for that, but not anymore. Not anymore. More, it's like, I get it. I have compassion for her belief systems, her values, and the decisions and choices that she's made. Now, guess who I do not call when it's, I don't call her anymore when it's time to talk about that stuff. In fact, I got the property. I'm so excited about this property, you guys. It's beautiful. 2-story yellow house, beautiful country house, tons of land. Oh my God. It's such a great place. I can't even stand it. I'm so excited. But when I wanted to call my mom and share it with her, but I knew what I was going to hear. Well, who's going to be taking care of the grass? You got to worry about is it on septic or city water? You got all the other stuff. And I'm like, I cannot. Will was supposed to earlier, like even exchange of energy. Well, that wouldn't be an even exchange of energy. I'm here, vibing high, going, I cannot wait to move to this property. The horses are going to be all in the same place again, because now they're parked at 2 different barns. The girls are at one barn and the boys are at another barn. I'm going to get all of them back together, get everybody in the same spot, all those things and stuff. And I'm like, okay. I don't want to hear about who's mowing the grass or where is the furniture. Is this? I can't. I need to hear, wow, Jen, that's going to be amazing. I'm so excited. Make sure you send me the reunion video of when the girls get back together with the boys, right? And my girlfriend calls it the marshmallow house, and I call it the Jello rocket ship. And the point is who are you sharing your stuff with? Which is why I'm not talking about my diet or what I'm going to be doing or how much weight I want to lose. I'm not talking about really any of that stuff. I posted about that in a story a while back. And then somebody, I got some comments that weren't so awesome. Like, well, how tall are you? And all these kind of things. And I'm like, no, So I texted my mom when I went to go talk to her about the thing about the house. And I said, Mom, I'm really excited about this and I want to share it with you, but I cannot share it with you if it's going to turn into, well, who's taking care of this? And what about this? And how much is that? And how are you going to afford that? I can't. I will not. I only want someone that is going to say to me, this is where the marshmallow house or the Jello rocket ship comes in. When I say, oh my God, I'm building a Jello rocket ship and we're going to go fly to the sun. I want my friends, I want my people to say, what flavor? Like cherry's my favorite, right? So that's really, or lime. I always joke and I say it's a lime Jello rocket ship to the sun. If you're going to do something that, audacious, that auspicious, or whatever the word is to describe it, that radical, like you want to do something really radical, don't go yip yapping it around to people unless their response is going to be, especially in the beginning when, it's like a little kid just getting ready to walk. They're like, well, what about, have you thought about like the kind of shoes you're going to wear when you learn how to walk? Are you going to think about how far you have to walk when you learn how to walk? No, you just celebrate the first freaking step. We don't talk about like, well, careful with that walking business. You might need a knee replacement sometime. When we see a little child walk, we celebrate that. We are not actually bioengineered to walk on two legs. Like we're not really supposed to be able to do that, yet we do, right? We're not supposed to be able to do all of these things. And the more I'm talking about it, the more fired up I'm getting, the more excited I'm getting, the more I'm like, you know what? I can't wait to get off this live and get to the gym. Ooh, right? So I'm doing it my way. I'm not going to talk about that. I'm not going to talk about that until later, until it's after the fact, till the results are in. And I can say, this is what I did instead of this is what I'm doing or what I'm going to do. And then I'm just going to clap for my damn self. Just slow clap for Jen. And that's what I encourage you to do. When you have an audacious goal, this big thing that you want to do, or even if it's a little thing, then say, this is how I want to do. This is how I want to feel. Excuse me. See all that pizza I ate yesterday? I'm burping. So take that to heart when you start thinking about what your goals are and put your goals. Yeah. Thanks for the love, guys. So definitely think about how you want to feel at the end of the day. And I don't know about you, but when I've done a really good job and had a really good day, and I go and it's nighttime and I'm tired and I'm like, physically, I'm tired, not just mentally tired. Like I've been sitting on my computer all day, but physically I'm tired. I go, okay, I'm going to sleep well tonight. No Ambien, no melatonin. I clear my mind. I've built momentum all day. Now I'm going to bring it here. I'm going to celebrate the juiciness of my day. I'm going to do a meditation and I'm going to align my subconscious to do the same thing while I rest and repair that I did during the day. Aligning my actions toward the desires and purpose of my life. And aligning myself with the high frequency emotions like joy and gratitude and love and play. I got my emotions picked out of my closet. Those at least fit, even if my clothes don't. So that's where I'm going to start. And I look at every day as day one. Every day is day one. So today I've got weights, and that's all I'm going to tell you. But I'll keep in track on another. I'm doing a vlog on this. It's going to be on my YouTube channel as I start moving forward. So definitely make sure you're subscribing to my YouTube. And if you want to come and visit me with the horses, definitely reach out. This is a very, very short-lived thing until we get over the extra hump of getting moved to the new facility, and then everything will go back to normal. But we've got plenty of dates throughout the summer, this fall, and even into the winter. So do not worry about that. I always take care of my people, always. So have an amazing day, everyone. And remember to believe in yourself. It will change your life. I love you all. Thanks for tuning in. Tina, we definitely should connect and have an amazing Monday, May